Hey guys, welcome to MuzeTalk, where culture, confidence, convos, and muse energy collide. I am your host, Zulay, and today I am beyond excited with our guest. I think that there are conversations that we are willing to jump into. We're always willing to jump into relationship conversations and things that are juicy and all those good things. But a conversation that seems to be really icky for people, for myself included, is the conversation around money. So I have, been friends with this woman for, I would say, like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I admire her tremendously. She's got a great work ethic. I know you have a new job to tell us about, but without further ado, I want to introduce you to Brittney Castro. She's a certified financial planner. She is an advocate for financial literacy, especially for women. And I'm just so happy that you're here, Brittney. Also, I may add, she agreed to join very last minute. So I'm so grateful for your friendship. Thank you, Brittney. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. So happy for your show.
Thank you. I'm excited. We've had a couple of few amazing guests, and now we have you on to follow along. These are making too much noise. Brittney, tell me about okay, first of all, I gave a very light intro to what it is that you do. So I want you to really give yourself like the proper intro because you do so many things.
Thank you. Well, yes, I am a certified financial planner. So I've been in the industry for over 15 years now. Currently, I have a job. So I'm head of education at a fintech company called Signal Advisors, doing a lot of what I was doing previously. And I still do things on the side. So my career journey was I had a financial planning firm for 8 years. I helped a lot of people with their finances, getting a plan in place, investing, budgeting, saving. And then during that time, I was also working with a lot of companies like Chase, Mint, Intuit, as a spokesperson to teach financial literacy to the masses. So I did a lot of cool campaigns about money and just making it easy. And so I'll still do some of those projects from time to time on the side. But it's really cool just to see, how I was able to merge being in finance, but make it creative, make it my own.
Which you do beautifully, by the way. But before we get into all those fun things, I want to know, because I am such... I think the way we met, or I think I reached out to you via DM, and I was like, girl, I need you. This was in the
pandemic,
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Modern Muse related, and then I went personal with it. I'm like, what should I be doing here? And you were very gracious and giving me information. We talked life insurance, which I now have.
I was so impressed by your life insurance.
Yes, I have life insurance. It's not cheap, but we'll get into the importance of that. But I guess... And this is something I never asked you. Yes, you meet financial planners and people who work in finance, but what brought you to this? How did money find you, girl?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. No, I mean, I think growing up, I was always like into business. At a young age, I just had that like interest in it. Yeah. But I got a degree from college with a degree in business economics, and then honestly, I had no idea what jobs were there, nothing. It was just, I remember going to my career counselor when I was graduating. I said, hey, I got a job offer as a financial advisor. I have no idea what this is. Do you think I should do it?
So honest and fair.
She was like, yeah, go for it because you'll learn if you like it or don't like it. So I just basically accepted the job. And I remember though, when I went there, one of the things that they told me was which is very financial industry. You can make as much money as you want here, have unlimited freedom, and you help people. And I was like, great. Those are 3 amazing things I would want in a career.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, note to self, this is a very muse-worthy moment because she's like, hey, I have this job. Should I take it? You jumped into the deep end.
Yeah.
And here you are. I don't know how many years later. We're not going to get into your age. But I think what I really want to dive into on this podcast, because on this episode, because I know how I grew up and I know how so many of us at home grew up, especially coming from a Latino household or an African American household, where oftentimes I feel like we've been in survival mode.
Yeah.
Like I grew up I was an immigrant. My parents moved here when I was 3. They worked 3 jobs, you know. So we weren't really thinking about finances. My parents were really thinking, like, how do we get through the week?
Yeah.
And I think inevitably what happens is that you start creating these, you start having these constructs around money that are not real. It's just really what you've been exposed to. And I think that this has been the biggest challenge that I've had to overcome in my adult life, is to reframe my relationship with money.
Yeah.
And kind of not erase, but really think about the past and reframe it in a beautiful way that empowers me and doesn't hold me back. And so I want to ask you, I think we grew up a little bit differently. Yeah. I think we grew up a bit differently, but what was your earliest memory of money? Because I will tell you, as a mom to a 4-year-old, I've been very cognizant about not making or telling Kennedy that something's too expensive, or we can't afford that, or it's just, you can't have that right now.
That's huge.
But mommy can afford it, but you are not going to get that right now.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, it was the opposite. You know, it was like money just wasn't something that was coming our way.
Yeah.
And so what was your earliest memory of money, if any, and how did that shape your career?
So yeah, I think I had a lot of different experiences with money. So actually the first memory I have with money is a piggy bank, and I just would like enjoyed putting the coins in the piggy bank, and I thought this was so fun, you know. But then like throughout my childhood and everything, you know, we also were a family of 5. My parents were married with 3 kids, 1 income, and we were living on a budget. So often we were told like, no, we're on a budget. And I remember specifically like when we'd go out to eat, we couldn't order drinks. Like there was things we could and could not do because we were on a budget as a family. But you know, that also kind of shaped some scarcity mentality even for me, even though we were like a middle class family and quote unquote doing well. I think I still had to learn myself, like, oh, there's abundance. Like it's okay to enjoy money. It's okay to, you know, work hard and have pleasures, you know, as well. Like it's not all grinding all the time. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I look back and I tell my parents this all the time. I don't know how you did it. Like it's a different time, of course. Like it's totally different. And I think that's like a lot of what we all have to constantly learn and relearn with money. It's like things are changing. They've changed. Like the economy is different than what our parents experienced even like 10 years ago. It's so different.
Right.
So it's a lifelong relationship and journey, you know?
It's funny that you say enjoying money.
Yeah.
I remember when I got on a TV show and I started making money, I was like, I'm going to go buy a house and I'm going to go buy. And I did, thankfully. And also, I was so afraid. I just remember being really afraid and then closing my eyes and then hiring a business manager.
Yes, I remember you telling me that.
But there's a catch here. Just because you hire Brittney or you hire a business manager to kind of guide these major life decisions doesn't give us the permission to not look at the money, to not face the reality of where you are financially, because, you know, yes, you're making money, but you still have a future to plan for. So I guess for me, what would have been really helpful was if I had gone through that healing process a little bit earlier. I would have saved myself so much pain and, you know, pain, because there's a disconnect with you and your money that stems from a place of scarcity.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I don't want to look. I know he's dealing with it. I know that this is happening. So I guess, you know, how do we start unlearning those things? And I also know that you have a big spiritual life. You're big into so many other beautiful things, and we'll get into that a little bit. But I think you are the right person to kind of, if you're listening and you're like, damn it, I'm in this place. Like I need just some tangible things that I can do, or practices, resources that I can get to, because the truth is that we can make all the money in the world, but your relationship with money ultimately is what the deciding factor, whether you keep it or not, or if you know, the way that you save, what is the relationship? So how do we start? Like, where do we start? We don't have like the listener doesn't have money to hire a financial planner.
Yeah.
Where is there a resource? Where do we go to start unloading some of these things around shame and really just not knowing anything about money?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many online tools nowadays, which is great. But you bring up a good point. Like when I was working with clients and helping them with their financial plans and doing a budget and all, building the right plan, here's what you need to do. Okay, that's like one part of it. The other part is our emotions, our behaviors, our mindset, and how, like you said, how do we uncover that? Because that's going to be what determines if you reach the goal or not, or if you have enjoyment along the way or not. So I think it's both. Like, one, everybody needs to actually sit down and look at the numbers and be clear about.
You have to look at your bank account and see what's in there.
And it takes time. I mean, I wish I had a secret formula. There's no secret. You literally have to spend the time to see what's going on in your current situation. What are your assets? What do you own? What do you owe? If you have debts, what are they? What is the income coming in? What are the expenses going out? I mean, you just have to have clarity.
And it's not fun. It's not fun.
Sometimes it's
not
painful.
Sexy. It's icky. It's painful. You're like, damn, I can't go to dinner tonight.
I know.
All those things come up because here's the statistic that I don't want to drop, but for the purposes of this conversation, we have to. Nearly 70% of millennial women wish they had more financial confidence.
Right.
That's a big number.
That's
and then
huge.
there's the wealth gap between women and men. So there's...
what's interesting too? Women are really good with money, but I just know this from my personal experience, not talking about client experience. We have an intuition. We have something that we can tap into and trust, but we have to learn how to use it and listen, because sometimes, yes, there is a science to money and investing and saving and budgeting, but there's also an art. And sometimes we know if that investment's too good to be true, or we know it's probably not a good idea to spend this money right now. But
like, you shouldn't be buying that bag for $5,000 today. Not
wait
today.
till tomorrow.
Yeah.
No. But I think that's it. Like, a lot of times women will talk down to themselves. And I even had this with a friend recently. She was like, oh, I feel stupid. I don't know this. And I was like, girl, nobody really knows this, but we have to learn it. And even if you did learn it growing up, you still have to relearn it or constantly learn it. So it's not like someone is just more equipped to financial literacy than others.
It's just taking the initiative to actually want to do it. That's why we started off saying that this is not fun, and we like talking about all these other things, but for some reason this conversation is still like so taboo. It still holds so much shame, like nobody wants to talk about it.
One thing that's really helped me with that is, like, if you can practice, like, this is where meditation really is helpful, witnessing and detachment. Like, look at the situation as if it's not your own, right?
Ooh,
like,
I like
okay,
that.
this is a financial situation happening. Try to remove let's just say it's someone else's. And what would you do? What would you advise that person? Objectively,
wow.
because, those emotions, sometimes we need to let them out and process them. And other times we need to be like, you know what? This is a habit I'm doing, a default emotion. I'm not going to follow that, because I'm going to choose, like you said, rewire. I'm going to choose differently. And sometimes that's like a line in the sand, like, hey, no, I'm not doing that thing anymore where I'm thinking I'm dumb because I don't know it, or I feel shame because of this situation. It's sometimes a decision, like, no, I'm just not going to do it anymore. And it's a practice. Sometimes it happens overnight. Sometimes it's
just a
ongoing.
Discipline. It's just a discipline. Like, do I need to say yes to 5 dinners a week? No, I cannot. But that's my thing. Like, I actually am kind of frugal in a way. Like, I don't spend money on bags and like all those things. I like experiences. Yeah. Now, you want to tell me that you want to go to the next, like, there's this like new chef in town, and it's I'm there, but I have to like, that's me. I want to eat good. I want beautiful experiences. I want to have amazing experiences for Kennedy. And also, I know that I have to have discipline around my money, especially right now. The industry is really slow. So I understand what you're saying. It's just a decision that you have to make objectively, like you said. Look at just the landscape of somebody else's
And also too, when you said that, I was thinking what helps me too sometimes is, okay, this is not forever. It's temporary. Everything shifts. Good, bad, challenges, great successes. It's all temporary. So if you can really, really practice, like, this is what it is right now. Like you said, the example, the industry's slow. So I'm just going to watch more.
Just like be more conscious.
Yeah,
we're just
more conscious.
Yeah, be more conscious of where
sometimes it's more abundant, so we could be a little more like let loose with our spending. But
we also have to be very aware of the abundant energy that's all around us.
Yeah,
I think having that, recognizing that every day, I think I'm really good at that.
You are.
I'm really good at reframing any situation. I'm like, okay, I don't have this today, but I have all of this. Like I will list the things. Then I look in the mirror and I'm like, you go girl, you look good. And always, honestly, just put on a really nice outfit.
Makeup, whatever it is.
I know. Cook a beautiful dinner. Sometimes you don't have to go out to the restaurant. You can cook a beautiful dinner at home. Okay, I want to move on for the more savvy to a more, say we have a different type of client. Now you're like, you've moved past financial illiteracy and you're a little bit more savvy and you're saving and you invest and you do all these things. There's a lot of stuff on Instagram. There's a lot of things out there that promise like get rich tomorrow schemes. Because I follow these people. I see them. I'm like, oh, and I look into it. Okay, I know you sell life insurance. You're big on life insurance. What are the vehicles, simple 2 vehicles that you think are the most savvy and the safest? Are you thinking it's index funds? Like, where are you sending people? That's where I'm at.
You're smart. No, you're very financially wise. Index funds are great. Yeah. So I think it's funny because I actually just scheduled a post about that. Like, just because it's on social media doesn't mean it's true. It's, right. And you always have to filter it for your situation. But yeah, index funds are great, low cost, or ETFs. If you want to invest in the stock market, that's a great way to do it.
Are you a fan of having like high yield savings for just like your everyday and not leaving it in your regular bank account? I do that as well.
Yeah. See? Yeah, you do a lot of great things.
I mean, listen, I'm trying, but there's, Latinas earn just 52% on the dollar compared to men. And yet we're starting businesses faster than any other group. Okay, look at us. Look at us. We're here. We're a part of that group.
Yeah.
How do we? I don't know. I feel like this conversation has been had so many times. How do we reconcile this? Like, how are we still here? And there's so many organizations out there that are dedicated to creating not only awareness, but to creating spaces like this where we're putting out information where people can learn and find answers to these questions that seem to escape us. Why is this still here? Why the wealth gap?
And I don't know. I don't know if there's a simple solution to it.
Is it the patriarchy?
Perhaps.
I think that's...
I would say for me and the women I know, a lot of it also comes down to making sure you ask for the money, which is not always easy. That you
advocate for yourself.
It's not always comfortable. But now we have a lot of tools, even ChatGPT, say, what are help me do some research. What are the average fees for this, someone with my experience in this industry, or what's the average salary, or leverage the tools available to us that are now for free and ask for it, because the worst that can happen is they say no. Yeah. But I think a lot of times, even me, I've seen now that I have a job, I'm like, oh, this is something you have to keep asking for the money that you want. It's very rare someone's going to be like, oh, here's all the extra money that you deserve. You know, it's like, even if you're doing an amazing job, you're very valuable to the employer, you still have to ask for it, and you can't be afraid of that.
I think that as we're sitting here, there's 3 Latinas in the room. I think that's something that is very relevant to us specifically. Unfortunately, I think that we've always had, or in the past, I'm not there anymore. I feel like I'm a very clear communicator. However, there are times when you step into rooms where you may necessarily feel like there's a little bit of like doubt in yourself. We have to eradicate the doubt. If you're in the room, you belong in the room. And then once you're there, claim your space in the room and ask for what you're worth, because at this rate, it's going to take another 200 years to close the Latina wealth gap.
And what helps me sometimes is just to say, hey, look, I live in LA. Inflation's rough. It's expensive.
Yeah.
I literally need this money just to sustain my lifestyle. So it's not even like a luxury, and that kind of takes away like any ego doubts or something, because I'm like, no, at this point it's a necessity to have this amount of money, and I'm not asking for a lot. And also when you know your value, I mean, sometimes you have to do more to make sure you are like putting in the work or getting whatever you need to showcase your value. But when you know your value, it's just a matter of like having a conversation.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be so scary.
It doesn't. And it's all communication skills, critical thinking, like just know where you are, know who you're speaking to, and be confident, right? In what you're in what you're offering, what your services are. But that also brings up another topic, is that just because you're a high earner doesn't necessarily equate to you building wealth. And that's also tough.
I know.
Because
it's more of what you keep than what you earn.
So again, we go back to like, to the budgeting, to all those other things that we talked about earlier. But that, I don't know, I don't have the exact percentage of that, but they're not high earners. Doesn't necessarily mean you're creating generational wealth.
No.
Like you have to have these things in place before you get to the place that you were trying to get to keep the money that you're making.
I feel like it's really a decision of what you really want. Like it is a priority. It's a choice, right? It doesn't matter how much money you're making. Of course, we all need a certain amount to survive and pay our bills. But at a certain point, high income, middle income, it's how much are you willing to put in the work to know your numbers, to set up the automatic savings so you don't see it, to invest every month, you know, because it's just super easy to spend money.
Yeah.
Like really, it's just super easy. Yeah. So we have to have the plan, the strategies, thank God for auto pay or auto savings. We don't even have to think about it anymore. It just happens. But all of that really needs to be set up in order to have success.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's way too hard. I mean, it's way too hard.
And what is what does it cost to work with a financial planner? Give it to me straight. Like if
a few $1,000s, I would say. If you go to the CFP board website, cfpboard.net, you can search for a CFP in your area, which I think is very important. Search for someone. If you want a woman, search for women.
Right. Just like your therapist.
Yeah.
You go look for these people.
Someone who specializes in divorce or specializes in whatever. Business owners. You look for someone and you have a few conversations until you figure out, okay, this person I like. They can clearly communicate their fees to me. There should never be any mystery about how someone is getting paid. Right. Literally. But the financial industry is known to be secretive about that.
I don't want to divulge too much of but when I was telling you back then, like years ago, I had a similar situation. I was like, but wait, what does that mean? Anyway, we'll talk about that. But yes,
they should say, look, there's basically 3 ways. They charge a percentage on the assets they manage, which is like usually 1 to 1.5%.
And it also goes by entry point, like what your entry point is. Yeah.
That's very common to charge a percentage every year. Some just say it's a flat fee to work with me, like $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 for the year. Here's everything I give you for that fee. Some do hourly. So, you know, there are people who, if you just like, hey, I don't need the full plan. I don't have money for the full plan. I just need a few hours of help. Search for that. There's someone out there who will help you.
You can consult on a need basis. Right?
But I think it's valuable just to have, even if it's not forever, a financial planner help you one time, 1 year, set your stuff up. Okay, here's a question that I know a lot of you at home, I haven't been married and I haven't been divorced, but I know people who have. What is the advice that you would give to a woman
that's planning on getting married financial advice, because that ends up being such a big conversation. Like having this conversation with your soon to be husband. What are the things that financially you guys should have like a clear and concise conversation about?
I would say know each other's basic like ways with money. So
weaknesses.
yeah, like basic weaknesses
Yeah.
and strengths. Like you'll know right away, like when I'm dating someone, I know like, oh, this person's like a spender, they're abundant, you know, so that's really lovely in the beginning, but then
Right.
it could be like something later that I'm like, okay, well now we have to save, or you
Like,
know, we
yeah,
have to
like we
invest
want to buy a house, or
more.
you're going to save for a house.
Exactly. Or vice versa. Maybe they're really like frugal with their money. Is that going to be a problem later if I'm like, hey, we need to enjoy our money? So know like the basic personality, I would say, of your significant other with their money. Have a ballpark of their income. You don't need to know exactly how much they're making,
Really?
but
No,
I
just
would
kidding.
I would say you need to have like, yeah, they're in the, you know, whatever, 100, 200 range, or
A ballpark.
a
So,
ballpark.
yeah.
So it's not a mystery.
And that goes both ways. I'm not
Yeah.
saying just like one way.
No,
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah.
It should just be very open. And then also know on a basic level if they have any debts or assets. Not to say like that's a make it or break it, but just know what the situation is. And then I think one thing that I have done before and is really useful is just try to have a weekly when you're at the level where you're like, okay, we're really maybe not even married yet, but we're really like living together or whatever, have a conversation.
Weekly?
It could be weekly,
Jesus. I am failing.
You
We
need to
are
get
not
on this.
doing this weekly. No.
monthly even.
Okay.
Just
Over dinner, preferably over dinner
over
and wine.
something nice. Dinner and wine is lovely. And just say, hey, like, what are we working on? What do we have coming up?
Right.
What are we going to do? Like financial
planning for
decisions
vacation?
are
Yeah.
6 out of 10 decisions. So everything has money nowadays attached to it. So it's
I
just
hate that
nice.
you said it that way. You just threw that stat out like that. Like just disrespected us. 6 out of 10?
But it
That's
could
a
be
lot.
simple things like, hey, honey, you know, we have a summer's coming up. We have a lot of trips planned or whatever it is.
Right.
And let's just like get on the same page for the planning parts or the money parts. Or we have, you know, this big expense we want to, you know, take care of wisely, or
This
a goal.
this brings me into something that's really funny, because I feel that a lot of people oftentimes or try to communicate that for women to talk about money with their partners, it's unladylike. Like it's taboo, or like we shouldn't be doing that. Just let's just let things. But this is a mini segment that's going to bust this whole thing. So this is called Muse Mythbusters. Okay. It's a quick fire. I'm going to say a statement and you're going to either confirm or deny,
Okay.
or bust.
Okay.
Debt is always bad.
Deny.
Deny.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. We'll talk about that later. You need a lot of money to start investing.
Deny.
Deny unequivocally. Talking about money is tacky or unladylike.
Oh, deny.
Deny. Hello.
Totally.
And my man handles the money. I don't need to worry about it.
Oh, excellent. No, deny.
No.
Great.
Come on. Like all those things, we need to be as aware with our partners, and like you said, what's coming in and out, and planning for the future. If there is a plan for the future, it doesn't have to be a house or a wedding. It could be a vacation that you guys want to take. All
And
right.
it's okay. Like, it's okay that your man takes care of the finances. I'm not saying that's a problem. I actually really love that, but you still have to be in the know. Just like,
Yeah.
at least know the basics of what's going on.
Education, resources. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of like the investment firms, but is there websites or resources where you can just go get financially savvy? Do you think you have to pay for that everywhere you go?
You mean like just some financial
Just some
guidance?
financial guidance.
You know, honestly, I love AI.
Is it ChatGPT?
Perplexity or ChatGPT.
Really?
I wouldn't say, you know, use it like any Google search
Right.
engine. But there's so many great resources.
Just free resources.
Investopedia.com is another great one. They're really good at publishing good financial information. So if you're like, hey, I need to know what a Roth IRA is, go to Investopedia, say Roth IRA, and they'll put in layman's terms all the things you need to know.
Investopedia. Okay, before we close out, we're going to do our Muse and Moxie. It's another lightning round, but this is more personal.
Ooh.
Answer fast. Don't think too much.
Okay.
Okay, what was your first big girl money move you ever made? Ooh.
I remember when I got out of college, I was a waitress, so I made a lot of money. I was like good at serving. I'd be like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get your table. Do you want me to take your table?" So I would just like get everybody's table because
take all those people's money.
Anyway, I saved a substantial amount. I say that because I was able to save a good amount of money, and I remember being able to pay for my European vacation from my savings account, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." It was like $4,000, which at that time was huge.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, what's your money era right now? And by era, like, where are you?
I love this question.
Yeah, what is your money era?
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, I'm building my business. So I'm in a building era.
Okay.
You've built your business. Are you graduated to, like, are you thinking long term? Are you investing in companies? Are you investing in other?
I would say I'm in my investing era. When I was a business owner and self-employed, I wasn't able to invest as much as I wanted to because it's freaking expensive to have a business.
I know.
But here we are. Now I'm able to like really focus on that, which is nice.
I love that for you. One thing every woman should financially protect at all costs.
Ooh, protect.
I think, well, I'm asking myself this question, and as I had a conversation with my girlfriend this morning, it's credit.
That's a good one. Actually, that's a great answer.
Got to protect your credit. You have to protect your credit because you really can't do and move and borrow and do anything without credit.
That's
I just
a great
answered
answer.
your own question.
You answered it for me. I agree. I concur.
Oh, this is a good one. What makes you feel like a muse in the financial world?
What makes me feel? I would just say my ability to relate to anybody, to really just bring my personality. You know, I think so much of the financial world is so boring, and not so much anymore, but very like stereotypical, serious, and we can't have fun. And I've always just done it completely opposite with my personality. It's like, oh, let's just have fun. It doesn't need to be so serious. Like, so I think that's really helped.
And you're not a financial planner anymore. That's not
how I am.
Oh, you are. You're
girl,
still,
I got that credential. I'm never letting it go.
Okay, guys. So Brittney is available.
I have a
She's in
CFP
LA.
credential. Yeah, I'll still do on the side some consulting.
I love this for you and for me maybe in the future. Brittney, thank you so much for coming on MuzeTalk. Your insight and your expertise brings so much value. It's brought me so much value. I mean, I don't think you even really know that, but you did help me out a lot.
Thank you.
And how can we find you? How can we support you?
BrittneyCastro.com is the best way to find me. I have all my links there. I would just say if you're in need of help with anything, reach out to me. I know people, so even if I don't do this anymore,
we know people.
I know
Did
people.
You guys hear that?
I can direct you in the right way, which I really think is valuable. Sometimes you're like, I just don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to guide people.
And you're a people person. You love people.
I love people.
I mean, I think those are the two things that brought you to this world. From when you were a kid, from when you went to see your counselor.
Yes.
You're like, I like working with people and I like helping people.
That's true. Yeah.
And you had the
Here
degree.
we go.
Thank you, Brittney. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks
We are MuzeTalk. Make sure you follow us at modernmuse.com. We're going to have this episode up on the site as well. Thank you for being here.